I was really excited to get started getting tattoos when I was in high school.
Yeah.
All my buddies had them. And my first one's here, it's big blob. I drew it myself, you know. I was 17, so I was like drawing my first tattoo in class. And then I took my graduation money.
Well, you drew it yourself, you didn't actually etch it into your own
I drew
flesh.
it, you know, I planned it out. You know, I want to draw my own tattoo.
Yeah, okay.
And I took my graduation money. I was 18, and I went and got a tattoo. And I remember my parents sat me down, and they're like, "We noticed your graduation money is missing, and we know where it went." And I was like, "Oh man." And so it was one of those conversations where I thought they knew I got a tattoo, but they thought I'd spent it on drugs.
Oh, no.
So then I told them, "Oh no, I got a tattoo," and they were so relieved, and then got upset real fast.
When the courts, the legislature, and the institutions that govern our daily lives are broken, we have to look for ways to make the world a better place on our own. We're learning from people who know you don't have to go to big cities to do big things. This is Midwesticism. To start off our series, we're going to talk to Mike Bridavsky of Bloomington, Indiana. He's a recording engineer, the son of Russian immigrants, and the owner of Indiana's most famous living cat.
I was conceived in Russia. My parents they started immigrating in 1979. You know, the U.S. I think closed Russian immigration like in 80 or 81. So we almost got held up in Italy. So I was almost born a Russian, Italian, Jew, soon to be American. But we made it to Kansas City. I think we had like $30 to our name. My mom was pregnant. So I was born in Kansas City, and then my dad ended up getting a job in Cleveland, which is why we moved to Cleveland when I was about 1.
When did you start the studio? What year?
Well, I started it in 2003 in Brown County.
Okay.
And when I started it, I was working at IU full-time. So the first 5 years of my studio, I was also working at Indiana University. I was the technical director for the African American Arts Institute. Sort of my business plan became to have this world-class studio in Bloomington, which is a cool town that people know about, but have it be extremely affordable. 90% of the records I record are with people that are technically like below the poverty line. People graduated college, don't have jobs, and are just like working minimum wage just so they can save up enough money to go on tour. And those are the people I connect with, and those are my friends, and I love to be able to make kick-ass records with people that can't afford to do it. Money has never been a motivating factor in my life at all. What's been a motivating factor is to do what I want to do. And that's kind of why I found myself in some pretty deep financial despair at several moments in my life. The biggest one being when I quit this job at IU, took out this, I don't know how I convinced the bank to give me this money. Because it was 2008.
Right, yeah.
Right, so
it was 2008, yeah. I was going to say,
it was
this
2008.
was like the freewheeling early aughts, but I guess not.
No, I didn't. It was 2008. They were super tight. I didn't have a real business plan. I came in there with a stack of records that I'd recorded. And I said, you know, I bring bands from out of town. It's good for the culture of Bloomington, the musical culture. It's good to bring folks into town, and the studio's been a big part of the music scene here, and I want to do this full time, and I hope you'll support me in that. And they said, yeah. So this is the control room. This is where I spend most of my time. The studio is fully analog or fully digital. You can actually just switch from the tape machine to the computer with these 2 giant cables. You just move them there. Once Bub came around, I realized that what I'm doing with the studio is cool, the arts are very important, and providing a place for bands to record and providing a service to them to fulfill their dreams is great. But on a much bigger level, the work that I do with Bub is, it makes me cry regularly, the work we do. It's beyond, there's animal welfare, but it's beyond that. She means a lot to a lot of people. I remember the very first crazy message I got. It was just a blog for fun for friends.
Yeah.
But it spread pretty quickly, like 500 people were following it, which to me was like, this is supposed to be like sort of a fun. I thought she was truly the most remarkable creature in the world, but it was just for fun. I didn't think anything of it. And someone was like, I hope you never stop posting photos. She's the only thing that's gotten me through grad school. I know, and the first time I thought, that is insane, really? But now that pales in comparison to the messages I get every single day.
Really?
Oh, children that are, like chronically ill children that only have a few months to live. People suffering from depression, I've gotten so many messages from suicidal people that, I mean, I have one that I've saved that was like, I logged in to Facebook to say goodbye. I know this was not the best way to say goodbye to your friends and family. And Bub's picture came up in my feed and made me realize, if she can make it through all these challenges that she's had, so can I. Her story is that she was born with a multitude of genetic anomalies. She's quite literally like 1 in a trillion, everything combined. And she has this very rare bone condition. She's the only cat in recorded history to have osteopetrosis. The way I see it is that she's driving the ship. I mean, that's where my decision not to pursue any opportunities actively or do anything. I don't reach out to anyone and do like, hey, we want to do this. Like, none of it. Everything we've done, the Animal Planet special, a book for Penguin, I mean, tons of crazy, I've had crazy stuff, Bub's met Robert De Niro, we've been on The View, we did a talk show, we got asked to do a talk show, Little Bub's Big Show, I don't know if you know about it, but me and my friend Mark did it. We interviewed Michelle Obama, we interviewed, and again, she came to us. Yeah. To me, like really the way she connects to people on a daily basis and changes people's lives and makes them happier, I think elevating the general level of happiness on the planet is kind of a big fucking deal, man, because the big problem with everything is people being bummed out about shit, right? I mean, we're our best when we're happy. She has a bone infection right now, and we're trying to treat it with this long-term antibiotic. So she just gets some every day. And then I'm gonna move over there. I also add water. She doesn't drink water. So we mix it in with her food to keep her hydrated. And Bub actually eats, she's only 3.5 pounds and she eats enough food for a 16-pound cat every day. She has the most ferocious appetite. In a way, it made it desirable to help special needs pets. And that's what we talk about. Like we do a presentation called The Story of Little Bub, and it's obviously about the details of a lot of things we talked about, how I met Stacy and just the story of how it all came to be, but I really talk about what it's like to care for a special needs pet, why it's important, why it's not for everyone. These are the pets that need our help the most. They're the first to get euthanized in shelters and the hardest to adopt, and the ones that cost the most money to keep healthy, which is why they're the first to get euthanized. So Little Bub's Big Fund has helped a lot with that because it's the first national fund dedicated to providing grants to shelters specifically for special needs pets. And that's where money's needed the most, which is why it's the most applied for grant.
How did you meet Bub?
The story is that, she's my 6th rescue cat, but I had 4 cats at the time and I just moved into a new apartment. The cat stayed at the recording studio. I was kind of relieved to kind of be cat hair free, at least when I was sleeping. But then my friend sent me a photo of her as a kitten and said, you have to meet this cat, because all my cats are sort of misfits. I got the big fat one, the one with no tail, and they're all rescues. And I was never like actively trying, similar to how I don't seek any opportunities in general, I also never sought out any cats. Right. They all found me.
They found you, yeah.
So I had to meet her though, because she looks so wild. This picture, she's like that big. She looked like a combination of Gizmo meets Snuggles the bear. And I was like, I have to meet, it didn't even look like a cat. So I met her, and she was found as the runt of a feral litter in rural Indiana, in Unionville.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And it was my friend's girlfriend's sister's roommate's boyfriend's mom that found her.
What? Oh, you okay, you've got that one down.
Oh yeah, I've done a lot. And then she like bounced around with a couple friends. I didn't know anything about her, and no one wanted to take her in. I mean, it was clear she would require probably special care or wouldn't probably live very long. Yeah. I mean, she was half a pound at 8 weeks old. Her teeth never grew in. She's polydactyl on all of her paws, so she has extra toes on every paw.
Oh, wow.
Yep, she has an underdeveloped jaw, And these are just things that we could see. Sorry, I'm always picking at her. These are things you could just see.
Don't you bite
know?
him.
And
Don't
we
you
didn't,
bite him.
We didn't know that there'd be anything wrong with her,
Yeah.
medically, physically. 15 minutes later, she was in my house. So we hit it off pretty quick.
Awesome.
Being able to just, or to like encourage people to be empathetic, I think is a huge thing, and to really like consider others. I feel like that's her biggest contribution.
Midwesticism is viewer supported. If you like this story and you want to see more, visit patreon.com/Dan Canon.